Hey everybody, it's Rick, also known as Duke City Devil Dog. Today is the 13th of March 2020. It is Friday the 13th, but I'm not trickster-decaphobic. It's afraid of the number 13 if you don't know what that is. Anyway, it is about 50 degrees out here. I am in Effingham, Illinois. Stay tuned, I'll talk to you about it in a sec. Well, as I said, I'm in Effingham, Illinois. It is about 50 degrees, give or take. Out there, it seems a little bit chillier because the wind's a little cold. It is 1 o'clock local time. I'm getting ready to roll here in the next about 35 minutes. I hadn't, my original goal was to get here to Effingham, but I didn't think I was going to make it. And that's because I had a fuel stop in East St. Louis. Well, just as I was about to get to the fuel stop, somebody had hit one of those concrete barriers. I don't think they hit it hard. I think they just clipped it, but there was some police and stuff, and I couldn't get off on that exit. So I tried to call to find out whether they wanted me to stop somewhere else close to there. Couldn't get through to anybody in the middle of the night. Sometimes it happens that way. So I decided, I looked, and I had just enough time if I pushed it really hard to get here to Effingham. And so I did, and I got here with about 4 minutes left on my clock, which was good because there was a reason why I wanted to get here. A couple of my buddies from CDL school who had become good friends of mine, Dan and Cameron, they were here in Effingham. And I called Dan to find out where he was. You at least a couple times a week we find out where each other's running, just in case something like this was able to happen, and just to check up. And I'm picking his brain about Alliance because he just started Alliance and Cameron just started Alliance, and I had just gotten a call from Alliance, from the recruiter at Alliance, trying to get me to switch over again. So I called him and everything, and I said, where you at? He says, I'm on my way to Effingham. And I said, dude, I'm headed that way too. I just don't know if I'm gonna make it there. And he said, well, it's great. Cameron's on his way too. And because and I was like, shoot, maybe we can all have breakfast or something like that if I can get there. If not, Dan was gonna head south because he's heading down towards Joplin. And I said, well, maybe if excuse me, if I don't make it to, that's not anything to be worried about. Somebody blew smoke towards me, and that just sort of bugs me. It's a shame we got to worry about that now with all this stuff going around. But anyway, I told him, if I don't quite make it there, maybe you can stop on the way down and we can grab breakfast or something, because if I don't get to Effingham, I'm going to be within about 40 minutes of it, and there's about 3 or 4 places to stop and park between here and there. So I mean, I was going to be all right, but I made it here, and I parked the truck, easy parking kind of thing, and then I went to go use all the facilities over here at Flying J. And then I came in, I walked to find out where they were parked, and they were parked next to each other over here, and there was one space left next to them. So I decided, even though I was set for the night, I don't know why I decided to do it, but I just thought it would be cool. I moved and I came over here and I parked it and I one-shotted it, and I was very happy about it. But I'll tell you what, there's nothing more nervous that'll make you more nervous than trying to park your truck next to a buddy of yours truck and make sure you don't hit it. I mean, you don't want to hit the truck ever, but when it's your buddy's, you'll never live it down. One, plus it's Steven's truck, so you got to pay twice as much for the repairs if you do that. So if you're at fault, but one shot at it, no problem. Woke up this morning, texted him, said, "Hey buddy, what you doing?" And he's like, "Where are you?" And I said, "I'm right next to you." And that was fun, and we went and had breakfast and enjoyed it. They've already hit their runs God, you know, if you use a smoke or use one of those vape things, blow it away from people. Make sure there's nobody downwind from you, please. God, every time somebody does that, it bugs me for about 2 or 3 hours. So anyway, so we got a chance to have breakfast, chat for a little bit, and I got to flip through his contract a little bit. He showed me some stuff. I really want to go through that before I even commit to this. So I'm going to see whether they'll send me a copy of it so I could read through it and see sort of what the commitment would be like, and really read it in detail to see. Well, other than that, I'm gonna run today. I got a fuel now because I didn't get a fuel in East St. Louis. I got a fuel. My goal is to get to Roseville, Pennsylvania. Okay, I got a delivery tomorrow morning at 9:15. If I run to Roseville, that'll put me about 3.5 hours out of there. That'll give me time to...
I was going to say, Dick, I know you ain't going to leave that sandwich cooking like that, but...
Sorry about that. Stuff on the radio, but I don't know who he was talking to, but somebody parked for a few minutes. Anyway, oh, I know who he's talking to. Anyway, guy just stopped real quick and had to go to the bathroom, so he parked it, and his cab's not straight. It sort of turned, but there's nobody parked around him, so don't know why they made a big deal. But anyway, back to where I'm going. I got a delivery tomorrow, or not tomorrow, Sunday morning, the 15th, 9:15 in the morning in Harriman, New York. If I get to where I'm planning on going, I can take a little bit of a break and see if they got something to repower me off of this, or and get me running somewhere else, or I got about a 3.5-4 hour run into Harriman on Sunday morning, which will be fine because I'll have had my 10 and everything like that, and we'll see from there. We'll see what Roseville, Pennsylvania is about if we don't get repowered off of it. So anyway, should be fun. Should enjoy the day, and we'll go from there. Stick with me. We're going to some areas where we've been before, as far as different times. I don't know how much I've videoed, and we'll see what we see. All right, you guys, we'll see you in a few. Okay, everybody, we're in Effingham. We're getting ready to roll. We got fueled. We got everything done. It's amazing what could take you time to get done. Is one of the requirements. One of the things DOT looks at is whether you have valve stem caps on your tires, and if you don't, you can get a violation. Well, sometimes, when you got big hands like mine, trying to get one of those things on one of the back fuel or the back tires in the inside, or any of the inside tires, it's a trick. You gotta, it's not easy to do. So I needed to do that, and then I needed to make sure that my air was perfect and it's good. So we're good to go. We're going to be heading towards, we're not going to make it to Roseville today, but we're going to make it as far as we can, and then figure out from there. So we're going to run for about 6 or 7 hours, and then take our break, and then figure out exactly where we're going to stop from there. So we'll figure it out here, and we're going to go. One thing, if you can notice, I changed the view of the camera. I haven't gotten any feedback from you guys. Let me know which view you like better. This is the narrow view. I will tell you that this is more like what I see out of the windshield. Okay, looking at it, if I sit back, that's pretty much the view that I have. Okay, out of the windshield. So if you like that, if you if that's the view that you like, let me know. If you like the really wide view where it looks like you're back a little bit and you get the camera and the mirror on the right, and it's you can see the whole mirror and the whole hood and everything, and it's a little bit wider, let me know about that. And if you like the other the other view, let me know the view in between. So Okay, so now we're ready to go. I just needed to check one thing. I replaced the wiper blades yesterday on this with something called scrub blades, and they're supposed to be really good at removing bugs from the windshield. Either they have some extra heavy-duty industrial strength bugs up here where I was driving through or whatever, but so far I haven't seen them do a great job. The reviews got good reviews, but anyway, well, let's get rolling. Let's get out of here, and we're gonna head north a little bit. We're going to pick up.
Asking for route.
We're going to pick up I-70 a little bit. Well, we're on I-70. We're gonna pick it up and head east. You know, it was a good opportunity to see my friends today. I appreciated that. I enjoyed that. This is gonna be fun. Look at this. So you coming in and going out of this place. Let's see. Uh-oh. That's ever fun. There's some well. That's something that I would not want to have to haul. It's would be rolls and stuff like that. Especially if they're that heavy wire kind of stuff, or sheets of metal and stuff like that where the weight's so bad. You got to be really, really good at tying down stuff. If you're not, you can end up losing your life there on that. Saw a lady in a Nike running suit that said "Just do it." I remember working for Big Sporting Goods, and we had gotten some people from. It was really surprising from. I don't know exactly where they were from, but they didn't have. They didn't have anyway, just to make a long story short, they had heard of Nike stuff, but they didn't know the logo, the slogan, "Just do it." And one of the guys asked me, "Just do what?" And I was like, "I don't know, just do it, I guess." But it's not like that guy that God, he's a lawyer for Stormy Daniels and all that. God, I can't think of his name right now. Anyway, he was the one who tried to blackmail Nike into paying him all this money. Michael Avenatti was going to blackmail, and one of his defenses was he was just doing it. He was just going for it, and he saw an opportunity, and he just decided he was just going to do it. And Nike should appreciate that. Well, they didn't appreciate it very much. They convicted him of attempted blackmail or whatever. So anyway, so we're gonna hit it. We're gonna run, and we will see you soon. just want to show you something real quick. So we're in Indiana, and you're starting to see some of these. You'll see some of these signs for rest areas, which are real helpful. They will actually show you how many truck parking spaces are available in certain rest areas. You'll see them. You'll see those signs in Indiana. You see them sometimes in Ohio. Some of these rest areas only have space for a few people or a few trucks, and some of them have spaces for hundreds of trucks. So, for the most part, I haven't stayed very often in rest areas. I think I've stayed in maybe 4 or 5 overnight, and just because I try to plan so that I can be at a truck stop or something like that. Sometimes I park, like the other day, not in a truck stop, but in a parking lot across from that Walmart DC. So, but it's important to see stuff like that so you have an idea about where to plan. I mean, when you're planning, trip planning, don't just look at where the truck stops are. Look at where some other stops are, and have some contingencies, because last night I was having trouble with the camera a little bit, so I couldn't turn it on when I wanted to, because I wanted to show you guys one of the things that I noticed is how many people they just run till their clock is done, and then they find the first place they can to stop, and a lot of times there's no place for them to really park, so they try to make a place, and they'll park on the on-ramps or off-ramps of rest areas. Sometimes they'll park on on-ramps, off-ramps of just highways, and that's very dangerous. And with Stevens Transport, that's not an option. You've got to be parked someplace where it's safe, where you're not a sitting duck. If you're parking in a rest area, it's got to be in a space or in like an open kind of parking lot where you're going to be protected. It can't be along a road or something like that. And that's just one of the rules we follow. So, but anyway, just thought I'd share that with you. Hey, welcome everybody. We are in Indianapolis, Indiana. It is 4:50 p.m. Central Daylight Time. It's 52 degrees here in Indianapolis. Driven through here a couple times. It's been at night when I've driven through here, so I'm going to take you with me through this little ride here downtown. I think you can see where if I remember right, where Indiana Motor Speedway is. At least some signs from it as we come up here, but I'm not 100% sure. Again, last couple times I've been through Indianapolis, it's been dark. Usually I get routed around Indianapolis, so going north towards Chicago, but in this case, since we're going farther east, we're checking it out this way. Looks like there's the home of the Indianapolis Colts over there. That's over to the left. I think you can probably see it. And to the right of there, if I'm correct, is Indianapolis Motor Speedway. You can see the tower there, I believe. Now, again, I'm not 100% sure, but we're heading that way anyway. We're going to stay on I-70 here for a while. We take a little bit of difference. Soil Stadium, that's the home of the Colts. Over there to the left, again, I don't know if you can see it very well. It is huge. I think I was wrong about the stadium being there. It looked like it, but that's not it. I mean the Speedway. There is a stadium over there, but Indianapolis is also the home of the Indiana Pacers NBA team. Of course, the NBA team right now, the NBA has suspended their season for right now, and that's due to the coronavirus. So, of course, if you're watching this, sometime later, you'll know about all that. The Indiana Pacers, that's the only game NBA game I ever went to was in Memphis, when I was down off of Beale Street, where the Grizzlies play is right down off of Beale Street. And so I had never been to an NBA game, so I decided to go check out the Grizzlies, and they were playing the Indiana Pacers. So, again, we're just going to follow this. I mean, it's going to take a few, but, until we get out of the town, check it out. signs for curves. Those are not the speed limits that you should be going in a truck like this. You should definitely be going much slower than that, at least 10 miles an hour slower, because those are really designed for something that doesn't have a very high center of gravity. And even if it shows the little truck turning over kind of thing, you still should be going slower than that. Anyway, we are clear of Indianapolis and we're headed towards Columbus, Ohio, and we'll pick you up in a few. So I don't know if I turn, if you can see. Again, I put it on narrow, and that's, I wish I would have left it on wide for some of this. But the parking that's out here, you're probably not going to be able to see it, but there's a huge amount of parking for trucks on both sides of this. You know, the one on the right, it's all lighted, and it's like, will hold more than 200 trucks. Same thing on the one that's going westbound. So plenty of places to park as you get here through Indiana and into Ohio. So hey everybody, we are at the Meijer in Columbus, Ohio. It is 10:15 local time. We still have a ways to drive before we're done for the night. About 5 hours, give or take. It's 43 degrees outside. I stopped here at the Meijers. I'd never been to Meijers before, and it's sort of like a regional Walmart kind of thing, it seems like. And they had some good stuff in there. They had some stuff I was looking for, but I will tell you what, with all this scare and everything going on about this coronavirus and everything, they are out of just about everything in there. No milk, no bread, no meat, no, thank God I love, tortillas, because that was about all I could get as far as that. I did get me a chicken. I did find me some like coffee donut kind of things that I had found one other place before, and I was looking again for, and they had them here. I'll have to share them with you. They're really good, so show them to you later. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna run for about another 5 hours. We're gonna see why we're going, if we can get a hold of a buddy of mine. He's in Hawaii, so it's still really early over there. But anyway, we're just gonna get out of here. This is a nice little stop for us. Like I said, never been to Meijers before. I can see coming back some of the stuff they seem to have pretty decent stuff. I did buy me a couple of shirts, a couple of look like concert t-shirts. They were on sale. Spent a little bit of money, but man, like I said, I got me a few little snacks and a few things to eat. And I got me some bananas. They still had some vegetables and stuff. It's amazing what people stock up on. They had hot dogs, they had some bratwurst, they had stuff like that, but that really doesn't work. Hot dogs I can do. I can microwave them or something like that, but bratwurst, not so much. There are some that are pre-cooked that I think you can do in a microwave. Maybe I'll look for those next time. But I was lucky here to be able to stop and to do this and take my 30. And now we're gonna get moving, and we're going to let this guy go here. But anyway, thought I'd share that with you. And there's a Walmart across the street. I could have tried to go to Walmart, but I had never been to Meijers before, so I figured, what the heck, let's go try and check it out and see. White Castle across the street, but I tried one of those already. Thank you, not anytime soon. It reminds me of a place in Albuquerque called Steak in the Rough. I can do that once every year or two just to say I had it. I think the problem is that they're steak fingers, and my mom used to make the best steak fingers with fries and stuff. She used to use that butter flavored Crisco for the fries, and it was always so good. But anyway, we're gonna get running, and we'll touch base with you. Talk a little bit more about what I saw inside of Myers. We'll touch base again. I'll mention that when we're done for the day. Okay, you guys hold on. Real quick, we're coming up on a truck parking. I'm going to stop just for a second, pull through, just so you can get an idea about this. This is in Ohio. It's between Columbus and Cleveland, off of I-71, I-71 North. So we're going to see what, just to have an idea. But even as you see, as we get in here, what's the first thing you're going to see is you're going to see somebody parked right on the off-ramp. Even though it looks like there are a bunch of spaces here, or at least a number of them. So we're just stopping for 1 second real quick. Now this isn't a rest area, but they do have, this is one of the few truck parking places I've seen like this that they actually have some porta potties. So anyway, we're just going to stop just for one brief second. I just need to adjust something. We'll be back with you. Real quick, we're coming up on a truck parking. I'm going to stop just for a second, pull through, just so you can get an idea about this. This is in Ohio. It's between Columbus and Cleveland, off of I-71, I-71 North. So we're going to see what, just to have an idea. But even as you see, as we get in here, what's the first thing you're going to see is you're going to see somebody parked right on the off-ramp. Even though it looks like there are a bunch of spaces here, or at least a number of them. So we're just stopping for 1 second real quick. Now this isn't a rest area, but they do have, this is one of the few truck parking places I've seen like this that they actually have some porta potties. So anyway, we're just going to stop just for one brief second. I just need to adjust something. We'll be back with you. Okay, so we're going to get rolling again. Give me 1 second. Adjust this. I bought this. I've had it for at least 2 months now, and I really like it. I bought this purple ultimate seat cushion. You know, like those purple mattresses and everything. And I like it, except it comes in this cover, but the cover doesn't want to stay in one spot sometimes on the chair, on the seat. So anyway, but anyway, but that's just when you'll see some of those stops like that all across Ohio and Indiana, Illinois, a little bit of Pennsylvania, but we'll see. We're gonna get up to I-80 in Pennsylvania, and we'll see from there. Anyway, we'll talk to you in a few.